G'day, g'day, g'day everyone. How's it all going? Oh, what a day. Did a lot of researching today and things like that, which is really good. I talked with my accountant and business associate and to find out about organisations and foundations and things like that, and I'll tell you a bit about that soon. Lots of things have been happening. I had a lot of messages. I do get a lot of messages, but it's all positive stuff, which is really, really good. And I'll talk about a bit about that too as we go on. Hello to the people popping on and saying hello, hello, hello. It is I, your fearless leader, Ivan. Oh, geez, what a day. It's so different coming from Tasmania up to Brisbane, though. Really feeling the heat. I think I prefer the cold. So when I move to Wales, I'll probably be very, very happy. Although I think it's coming into spring and summer there, so it'll be like sort of like winter here. Big difference, absolutely big, massive difference. But that's okay. You know. As long as you're happy and you're smiling, doesn't matter what type of day it is. As I said, I like walking in the rain, and I don't mind the cold. So, and occasionally they get sun there. When I was there in November, it was sunny most of the time. Actually, only time it sort of really rained was like at night, and I thought, well, I'm inside anyway, so it didn't matter. So, no, awesome stuff. I've been looking at places over there tonight, different places to rent. First, I'll need an apartment first, and then I'll concentrate on buying a farm and things like that. So there's nice places around there, which is great, where I want to go to anyway. So in Wales, and not overly expensive. So I'll be relying on people over there to show me around town, and so I know exactly where I am. Although it's sort of the area I was visiting a lot in November, so I actually know quite a bit of the place. And I made quite a few little friends there, the shopkeepers and things like that, and walk in and they knew who I was after a couple of days. Funny that. The way I am, G'day love, how's it going? It's just the way I am. People like friendly people, I suppose. So yeah, and I have to make sure that the place I rent, though, accepts cats, because for Charlie, Terry Phillips sent me a couple more photos tonight of Charlie, and she said, I better hurry up and get over there, or I might have to fight her for the cat, so for Charlie, because she's falling in love with him. You can't have him, Terry. He's mine, I tell you. It'll be an arm wrestle, and she'll win, but I'll cheat, but yeah, I can't wait to hold Charlie. She's taken some really good photos of him. Actually, I'll have to copy them, what she sent me, and I'll make a post so you guys can see my putty tat. He's a gorgeous cat, and obviously he's fitting in well, and the love and attention he's been given by Terry Phillips, considering he's been living on the streets for years and been mistreated, sort of thing. She's doing a marvellous job, so hopefully when I go to collect him, he'll leave. He may not want to leave Terry. I'm in trouble then. I'll have to sleep on the doorstep so I can have my cat. Okay, we'll get stuck into stuff. Let's see, what was I going to do? Oh yeah, I was talking to my accountant today, and business associate, very, very smart lady. And we were talking about foundations and organisations. And I discovered today why the world has not been healed. The amount of red tape, bureaucratic garbage, the people that would steal your foundation away from you if you weren't careful about it. Like, you can be voted out of your own foundation if you do it one way. By you have members in the group, and apparently if they get a whole heap of other members to back them, they can actually vote you out and take your foundation, which means they can take the money and all that sort of thing. So many things I discovered today, and couldn't believe it. And I thought, wow, no wonder the world hasn't been healed yet, There's so much, so many rules they place on you just to be able to help someone. It is really sad that it's come to that. And of course, then you have the people posing as charities that aren't really charities, and things like that. But I do know how to find that out, whether a charity is a real charity or not. But and then there's bylaws, and oh my goodness. But luckily, me being me and never giving up, and my accountant being as smart as she is, we have found a way we can do it. We don't need to do it just yet or anything like that, but we have found a way we can do it where we can bypass all that garbage until we're like, into the 1-2 million people mark, and then I can get I'll be able to afford to have lawyers and all that sort of thing. Make sure all the paperwork's right, and no one can touch us or destroy us. And of course, if I use Bitcoin, they can't touch us again. So I was smart to use Bitcoin, and right now anyway, I doubt the laws will change drastically where they're going to all the governments of the world are just going to accept it as the currency. They're too headstrong for that. If you look over the years with everything, even when the Wright brothers discovered how to fly, they didn't want to accept it. Cars didn't want to accept it. Internet, Uber is a great example for a modern day thing that countries just wouldn't accept. Wouldn't accept something new and innovative. Richard Branson had the same problem with Virgin Airlines, Virgin credit cards, and all the things he was doing. There was a lot of resistance to it because when you get corporations and things like that that have a monopoly on a system, happened over here with we had a company called Telstra over here. It was a telecom, and they basically owned everything. And then Optus came in, and there was a lot of fighting over that, and governments wouldn't accept it, and because the money talks and all that sort of thing. So, but with Uber was funny up here in Queensland. They wanted to come in, but the government only wanted their taxis, obviously, for the revenue, and didn't want Uber, and there was a huge fight over it. And I think they said to Uber in the end, you pay us $7 million, we'll let you set up business here. And I think they were quite surprised when Uber said, "Yep, okay, here you go, there's $7 million. Let's get started." So Uber's everywhere here in Brisbane now. So there's always resistance to change by governments. They're supposed to be representing the people, but they seem to represent themselves for some reason. But that's the same all over the world. You get that. So you can either give in to that sort of thing, or you can push past these out of date, out of touch politicians who say they're representing you, and bring real change to the world. And there's been some great people who have, and we want to be those great people too, don't we? Yes, we do. With Bitcoin Ascension, I want that to be one of the things that is spoken about in years to come as being a great innovative idea. Not me so much, but Bitcoin Ascension, I don't need my name up in lights. They'll spell it wrong anyway. They'll never be able to pronounce it. So Bitcoin Ascension is a lot easier, I think, as a great thing. It's like Uber type thing. You don't talk about the owner of Uber, you talk about Uber itself. I was actually watching an ad on TV, and they talked about back in, 100 years ago or something like that. 13 guys got together, down south in Australia, and they formed something called BHP, the Big Australian. It does coal mining resources and things like that. It's very big over here. I don't know if other countries have heard of BHP, but it's on the stock exchange and everything like that. But 13 guys got together and built what they've got today. That's something to really think about. When you think about flight, Orville and Wilbur, and a couple of mates probably, were helping them with some of the machinery, the start of the flight, Henry Ford with the car. It just takes a group of people to get together and really believe in what they're doing to be able to create something beautiful. And that's what I think that's what we're doing here. I really, really do. So I have found a way where we can work around things like that once we get a few more people in, obviously, and stuff like that. And so I found a way we can do it. So no government, no greedy people are going to hold us back. We are going to change the world. And speaking of starting to change the world, Arthur Schenk. No, he didn't choke me. Oh, that was good. Sorry about that. Arthur Schenk gave me the details today for the account he wants to give over to the Ask New Start Cat Rescue. And I've forwarded that to Terry, and she'll work it out with Elaine and get it all sorted out, because Terry obviously works with them. So she's the lady to go to with that sort of thing. Arthur saw my post on my wall about raising money for them, and thank you to the people that did. You know, it was £2, £3, but every little bit counts. You know, so he donated one of his positions. I mean, wow, you know, and we told the cat rescue that, and once I made them understand what the hell it was about, they were really excited. They were really, really happy. I'll have to give them some more details, and Terry can as well, because she talks to them all the time. But now they have, I think, 3 accounts now, I think, because I think Terry gave them one as well. I think Mandy did too. I can't remember. Sorry. I'm terrible. There's so many people that come and talk to me about wanting to give to their charities, and of course you've got Craig Smith and Sarah McGeechy. You know, they started up their little foundation in there in the North Wales town, you know, and Arthur said something really, really good, and I should find it. Hang on a second. I'm going to get my phone out. I'm going to find what he said to me, because I love what he said. Let's see this. Where is Arthur? Hang on, I have to put on my intelligence lenses on, so I can read this. Not that. Ivan's awesome. No, that's not what he didn't. I said I talked to the cat sanctuary and they are overwhelmed at your generosity, mate. You know, that's what I said to Arthur. And he said, no sense waiting to make a difference when we can start now, and in the end the reward will be much better. Now, there's an awesome little testimony, a little quote that he's put there. So, Arthur, you know, you've got a big heart, and you deserve a shout out for the things you do. What's that one? Where are you? Use whatever you need. Oh, okay. Sorry, it's a message for later. I just saw a message come up. So that's how busy I get sometimes. There's so many messages that wind up on there. It's amazing. So yeah, thank you very much, Arthur, for that. Wise words and a generous heart, and he was saying, you know, more people, you know, should do that sort of thing, you know, for their charities and things like that. And I said, well, they are. They, you know, some have already. I know I have, and several people have. Actually, I think Kath Foster was another one. And of course, as I said, Craig and things like that, they're making accounts in charities' names to give them a shot. And of course, once we sell the merchandise, we'll be able to help even more charities and get them involved in what we're doing, which I think is a great way of spending some of that money. And the others will be buying normal positions to be able to give away as prizes to back to you guys. So bonus, win-win, win-win. And that's the way it should be, shouldn't it? Hey? Should always be winning. Yes, we should. So that'll be happening this week. The sale of the merchandise will start in terms of the pre-ordering, and I'll get that Google Doc organised, and so you guys can order, and we'll make it PayPal. But if a country's having trouble with PayPal for whatever reason, some countries can't have PayPal. We'll do it through Bitcoin, and then we'll just sell the Bitcoin for, you know, PayPal. And so we can order the clothes and get them sent to you. But I'm pretty sure how we're starting is pretty much PayPal's the norm for that sort of thing. So that's great stuff too, which will help us move along quite nicely, and probably at a steady rate too, I dare say. I'll be buying some clothes myself, and yes, I do have to pay for them, you know, so I don't get them for nothing. I have to pay for them as well. And of course, my son has already offered his services to model some clothing with models and everything like that. And he did an awesome ad earlier this week too. I'm proud of my son for you know, getting involved at such a young age. You can tell, even if he was a millionaire, though, he would still do his photography and his cinematography that he wants to do, because that's his passion. You know, just because you can make a lot of money, you know, at some stage, doesn't mean you stop doing what you love doing. You know, you don't sit there like a lump and go, look at me, I'm a millionaire. You know, you do stuff, and that's the whole idea behind making money, is so you can use it to do the things you've always wanted to do. So let's see, what else? There's always stuff happening with Bitcoin Ascension. That's what I love. It's never stagnant. It's always something happening. With big shout out to Katie Vincent today. Everyone knows Katie. She's been helping us with our terms of services and our who's got a good Bitcoin address and who hasn't, and all that sort of thing, to help you guys out, to make sure that you have done it correctly. I've got to talk to Jamie, and she'll probably put up another update about our account's health and things like that. She asked me to do 2 things today, and they've both been done. So Katie, when you watch this tomorrow, I got it done. Yeah. She said she wanted the button changed to green and be a bit wider, and she did say pop it up, but I didn't do that. But so we've got a nice green get started button. It stands out, and green always means go. If you go to a lot of marketing sites and things like that, when you're buying software and things like that, and they tell you several times on the pages, get started now, you know, buy now, it's always a nice green button. So people are used to seeing the green button, they know what it's for. And of course, the step-by-step guide that Clive Anderson made is flawless. I don't think I've had anyone saying I don't get it. They all understand it. So big shout out to Clive for that. And the other thing Katie asked me to do is to remove the referral portion in the back office. If you look on the left-hand side, you'll see that there's usually a referral tab, because most matrices work on a referral basis. We don't. We work on the central link only, and that's been removed as well. I've been told by my programmer. So because he says, hey, both things been done. So I guess I'm taking that's the referral thing. So that'll save some confusion when people go in and go, hang on, how come there's a referral thing if it's only one link? Am I missing something here? So that's taken away, and so people will not be confused anymore, because we want things as simple and easy as we can. So that's been done as well. So as I said, lots of things happening. We still have the comps running. I'll have to do a count up of the Tom's one where he said he was going to buy 30 accounts, but he'll buy 50 if 50 people buy accounts. He'll buy 50 himself. For himself, and so I'll have to go to his post and see how many have actually been bought, because some people have put like one comment there, but they bought about 3 or 4 accounts, so I'll have to count them up and see when it's 50, and I'll have to get in touch. I did talk to Tom today, just briefly, just messaged him, see if he was having a good time. Of course, it's his honeymoon, of course he's having a good time, so he didn't talk very long. I wonder why. Probably very, very distracted with fishing. I'm sure it's fishing. So you know, so he's still alive. He survived his wedding night. Kudos, mate. You made it out alive, and so I'll let him know how that's going. So I'll have to check that post. And also, we have the running competition of anyone you introduce who upgrades. Please put their name and the position number on our other post for the competition. The first 50 new members that are introduced by our members, they get an earlier spot, and so does the person who introduced them. That's I think enough incentive with the way the positions are right now, and yeah, so get behind that one. It shouldn't take us long, guys. You know, there's thousands of us here to find 50 people. Oh, someone was saying, I think it might have been Louise Church. I'm not sure. I might have got it wrong. I'm terrible with names, and there's so many conversations I'm in. But she was saying, wouldn't it be easy if we all just invited a friend? I said, yeah. Yeah. That's all it is. As I said, it doesn't have to be a marketer. It just has to be someone who says, yeah, I'd love to get into something like that. So only $40. Bang. You're in. You know, that's how simple it is. I find people overcomplicate these things sometimes. I was talking to, I think it was Michael Woolley. Again, names. And he was saying, you know, people he was talking to saying, oh, have you been paid yet? I mean, he came in a bit further down the track sort of thing, so he hasn't gone up to level 3 yet, but he's on level 2 and, you know, about to go to level 3 sort of thing. So not far off that. Not going fast enough according to him. And I was like, well, who have you talked to? And he says, oh, they're all waiting for me to get paid. I said, but we've had like over 500 people in under 5 months have been paid. Some decent cash, more than what they put in. Okay, over 500 people, guys, just so you know. And it's well past the 500 now. And that's awesome for a program. Especially with the type of what we're doing. As I said, it's not really been done before the way we're doing it. Well, not successfully anyway. So, you know, we are a real pioneer of the industry. I think Juliet was saying she nearly commented on another post on her timeline, but it wasn't ours. She said there's that many copycats going up oh, you know, we're running this and we're doing charity as well. All of a sudden, you know, that's become the flavour of the month. Let's include charity in our things, and I hope they're doing it. I hope it's not just a gimmick for them, a marketing gimmick, so they can get people in because they think they're doing a charity and the guy's just going to run off with the money. That would break my heart. And as I said before, I said, well, you know, if they're really genuine about it, they should just join us because we're already doing that. Why make a separate one? But as she said, you know, it's you seem to have started up a bit of a theme now where people are thinking of charity. So as I said, if they are genuine about what they are doing, that's fantastic. Because guess who that helps? Charity, which is what we're trying to help. And I think we should always, you know, we need to, you know, obviously make funds ourselves and things like that, but I think we can heal the world at the same time. So I'm very into that. I was talking to someone who's not with us right now about what I wanted to do, and he was quite surprised that, you know, that sort of thing hadn't been done a lot more in the past. And I think, well, charities do it, you know, obviously because they're charities. They're trying to heal the world as best they can. They focus on one thing, and there are foundations out there, but there's not many that have a foundation of sorts where they're helping lots of other charities and causes around the world, and they're helping their members to actually make funds as well for themselves. Usually it's a give, and not really a lot back except the satisfaction of helping. I'm trying to give back the satisfaction of helping, as well as obviously financial relief, because, you know, that's where a lot of charities die, I think, is because people just can't afford to keep paying. And I think the way we're doing it is fantastic, so I'm liking that. So the competitions are important. Thank you very much to Arthur Schenk. Thank you to Katie for pointing out a couple of things, and we got them fixed with the Get Started button and the getting rid of that referral stuff. There'll be other stuff I'm doing. She did talk to me about the terms of services where we do have the right to take accounts off people if they misrepresent or basically lie about Bitcoin Ascension. It's in apparently the pin post, and I went, there's some cases where you can do something like that, but I always like to use my discretion. Just because I can doesn't mean I should, if you know what I mean. Some people are full of fear and they're scared, and they've been burnt that many times and hurt that many times, and for those people, you know, when I know it's genuine fear and not malice, I'll never ever take your accounts away from you. But if it's pure malice and all you're trying to do is destroy us, then I'll consider it. Okay, and I think that's pretty fair, because why should you profit while you're trying to destroy us at the same time? That just seems wrong to me. I don't know if you guys agree with that or not, but it seems pretty whacked to me. And I'm sure if we did it back to that person, they'd be all affronted and offended, and, you know, and things like that. It's amazing when you put the shoe on the other foot. I always like to walk in other people's shoes, and you can never know what another person's problem is. You can't know, but you can understand because you've had similar things. But remember, everyone's problem, even though it's maybe the exact thing you went through, it's always different because they're different. Okay, so always remember that. Never say I know exactly what you're going through. Always say you understand what they're going through because you've been through something similar. But have the respect for them to realise that they're an individual, and it's different for them because they think differently, and the set of sex is always different because it's different people or a different circumstance. Don't know why I brought that up. I just thought I'd bring it up just in terms of, you know, people being malicious towards other people, I try and understand people as best I can and help any way I can when I can. And, you know, sometimes you can't. And, you know, it's like beating a dead horse, so to speak. Yet sometimes you've got to walk away from people like that because they're just toxic. And unfortunately with hatred, when you start hating something, and it can start with one thing, and you start, and you make that your life, that you hate something that badly, not us, of course, but I'm just in general. You hate something that badly, you know, be it you know, a politician or a sports person who's done or said something wrong, and you hate them to a passion where you're obsessed with them. What happens is that darkness creeps into your heart and your mind, right? Because you're so busy hating that you start hating other things as well, because you're getting used to the hate, right? And the best way I've found to deal with people like that in my life over the years has been with love. Show them the light. They won't like it. No one likes in their darkness. If you've got a perfect darkness and you come in with a spark of light, it hurts their eyes, basically, their mind's eye anyway. But after a while, the light takes over, and you know, and they can see that things are really good. So in terms of Bitcoin Ascension, there's been a lot of darkness in online marketing and online programs, so many that fail, so many that are scams and things like that, ripping people off. So there's a lot of darkness out there, and people are used to this darkness. There's been plenty of people we've had come in here, don't believe what we're doing, sort of thing, and now they're starting to believe, because that light's starting to grow, and they're starting to see that, hey, maybe there is something legitimate, and maybe there is something where they really just want to give. Okay, that's why I talk about darkness and light. So never overjudge people for having darkness in their lives and things like that, because you don't know what they've gone through. We're trying to have Bitcoin Ascension as being a beacon of light that they can be drawn to if they want to get out of that situation. And the longevity of this program is what's the most important. So people have something to rely on. So always understanding, guys. Okay, never judge a person too quickly. Always try and walk, you know, in their shoes a bit and see where they're coming from. Judy Hay was a perfect example. When she had that post up, I've talked about it before. It just showed me that the amount of negativity she'd had thrown at her, for her to just be totally, well, you know, unsure what we were about, because it didn't seem like the rest, or it did seem like the rest, but hang on a minute, you know, it seems to have, you know, a bit of light around it instead of the darkness and the shadowy foreboding and things like that. So, and now Judy's, you know, part of our family, so that's fantastic. And let's bring more people into the light that way. It doesn't have to be a religious experience. It just has to be being good, you know, caring about others and things like that. You know, you don't have to bring religion or anything into it. I think you can just be good on the sake of being good. I mean, if you're a religious person, that's fantastic too. But there's a lot of good people out here, and I think the more good people we bring in, the more light we spread, the less darkness there will be in the world. And that's what we're here and what we aim to do. So I'll stop prattling on about that, but it was important for me, for myself, to be able to put that across to you so you fully understand where I come from. This weekend, remember, bring people along who may want to ask questions or hear about us. Chuck's put up the dates and times for our vision call, so to speak. We were calling people to action and sharing our vision of what we want Bitcoin Ascension to be and where we want it to go, and how it can benefit them as well in terms of financially. But we'll talk about the why especially. Then we'll talk about how we're doing it, and then what they can get out of it besides just helping as well, which I think is just as important as having money in your pocket, in my own opinion anyway. I'd rather make a person, you know, if I don't make $1 in the day, if I can make someone smile, I'll remember that a lot longer than the $1 I had. That's something that you never ever lose. Remember that, guys. And all of you come here and see me every night, and the posts you make, and the advertising you do, and the people you're bringing in who are quite surprised about what we're about, it just fills me with joy every day. Really, really does. And as I said, that's more important to me than the money, even though we all need it. Then again, we all need air as well, and we and things like that. And a glass of Coke every now and then. I like a glass of Coke every now and then. They're things we need. But it's the sugar. That's why I stay up so late. It must be. Okay, I think I've covered just about everything. I'm talking to another guy tomorrow who's the charity. Sorry. He's with a rather large charitable organisation, and I'll be talking to him tomorrow. Remember, when we are selling the merchandise, you might want to start thinking about what charities you're interested in that you would like to help. We can't just make them account. We have to be in touch with them so they know, because they need a Bitcoin address, obviously. So if there's anyone you know who runs a charity, like the New Start Cat Rescue and things like that, luckily we've got Terry Phillips as someone who can talk to them and get them set up. And of course, they tell the people they meet, with Bitcoin Ascension, they're trying to heal the world and help our charity grow its funds for the different projects they're trying to do. And you raise enough funds for these places, and they join us as well, and they make funds through the matrix system and the other things I'll be bringing in. They don't just pay the bills. They get to expand and help more of whatever it is they're doing. Like with the cat sanctuary, they could move on to dogs as well, or they could get an actual sanctuary instead of their own houses. A place where they can have all the cats in one place, where the vet can go and everything like that. Abused children, rape shelters, abuse shelters and things like that, where they can accommodate for people better and give better counselling, afford more counsellors, things like that. This is why we want to make big money. It's not so we can have money in our pocket, it's so that we can do more good with it as well. And that's really exciting to me. That's why I get so excited all the time. So, yeah. All right then. I think I covered everything. I might have missed something, but guess what? I'll be back tomorrow and I'll cover it then. So don't forget about the competitions, guys. Let's get that done and over with, because there's another competition I want to run, but I want to get these ones out of the way. So that's the first 50 people buy accounts sort of thing. So Tom will buy 50 instead of 30. And also the bringing someone in, and they'll get an early account, and so will you for bringing that person in, and they're upgraded. So let's get those out of the way, because there's another one I want to bring in that I think you'll like, and it will be fun, and it'll be more early positions. Okay, so I'll keep the competitions coming, but we've got to get through the ones we're in right now, and I know Elaine's working on the ones from previous. And she'll get that on. Oh, that's what I was going to talk about. Sorry. Paisley Pirates, our ice hockey team that we're claiming as ours now. Elaine went to the match. They had the playoffs for the championship. The end score was 6-all, I believe she said. But the other team won because of a better for and against, if you understand that sort of thing, a better goal difference through the season. I would have preferred extra time. But that's the way it goes, isn't it? They always prefer it a different way, especially if you make your team win. So they were runners up this year. So let's see how much we can do this year to push them through and help them out and things like that, so they can be champions, so they have a better chance of being champions next year. So well done, Paisley Pirates. As I said, you're champions anyway, just for getting where you got. And being a runner-up is not a bad thing. It's a great thing. You were there. You made it to the final. And considering it was 6-all, it's not like you were thrashed or anything like that. So you've got nothing to be ashamed of. And I'm proud. I'm proud to actually. I've never been to ice hockey because I'm in Australia, so we don't have a lot of ice to play hockey on. We play grass hockey over here, and we have good grass hockey players, but teams. But yeah, it's really nice to have a sort of an adopted ice hockey team that we've got. So, and to know they're doing quite well, and they're putting all that effort in. So big congratulations to Paisley Pirates. I think you're champions no matter where you come, but you did really, really well this year, and let's see what we can do next season and make them champions and have Bitcoin Ascension all over their stuff. I think that'll be fun. And yeah, that's it. All right, guys, I'll get going. Love you all very, very much. You make my day every day with your messages and general banter. Louise Church loves putting up that emoji that I use a lot. Seems to be her thing to do that. So I enjoy that, Louise. It's very funny, and you're a very witty lady. So I will talk to you all again tomorrow, and I'll cover anything that I might have missed, but update on the competitions and things like that as well. I'll have to count the numbers and things like that. So I'll talk to you all later. See you later. Bye-bye.